Hi, this is Otep, and this is Aristotle, and we're from Otep, and you're watching Loudwire. We've definitely seen over the years more and more people who have, gay people especially, coming out to our shows and being open about it. Whereas before they were afraid to be open at an aggressive political rock show. They didn't know what would happen to them. And now we're having people that will come to us and they'll say like, hey, this is my husband, or hey, this is my wife. And you'll see them in the audience. And what's great about our audience is that they're so accepting and inclusive. They're exclusively inclusive. They just, they're just beautiful people, and we love our fans, we do. And so I remember I was doing a VIP once, doing a signing, and there was two guys at the back of the line. They were being really loud, and they were obviously they'd been drinking, and they looked like, something out of central casting for Duck Dynasty. Big beards, wearing camo. They had the American flag bandanas around their foreheads, and they're just loud and being boisterous. And I'm like, oh great, what's this going to be? When they get up here, and they come up to me and they stand in front of me and they go, oh Otep, hey, I want to introduce you to my husband. And I was blown away, and I also was kind of ashamed of myself for not thinking that maybe they're together. I actually, fell into a moment of stereotyping them when I had no reason to do that. So, but that was one of a really wonderful moment to see that, like, these two guys, beer bellies, camouflaged, all that, coming out and saying how much they appreciate the fact that we have, that they can come out and be open and all that. And the other thing that we get is we get a lot of soldiers. We get a lot of military personnel. And I don't want to get too emotional, but this always makes me very emotional to talk about. But they give me their medals because they tell me that they can't speak out. They sign, a document when they join up that they can't be political when they're in service. And I've got a whole box that I have in my house that are really well preserved medals from men and women who've been in combat, and they just thank me for speaking out for them because they can't do it. And we play Colorado Springs a lot, and there was this young man, very well put together man, handsome guy, tall, about 6'2", came through the line. He's like 18, and he's like, my father was really cruel to me growing up, said I'd never make anything out of myself, and he said, but your music taught me that I had some worth. And so I joined the Marine Corps, and I'm deploying in 2 days. And so I was like, congratulations, be careful, be safe, take care of yourself over there. The next time we came through, he had been back from deployment, and he came dressed in his gear and everything, and he gave me his medal. And he's like, you deserve this. And I was like, I don't deserve it. You did this, not me. And then the next time we came through, he was in a wheelchair, and they brought him through the line. I recognized him immediately because I've talked to him several times, and he'd been hit by an IED, and he couldn't stand anymore. But he stood up for us to get a picture and to get something signed. And there was no malice in his heart at all about it. He still thanked me for giving him direction, the music that gave him direction in his life. And I saw this young man who will now, for the rest of his life, have to deal with these injuries and these obstacles, and how brave he was. And I think about these old men in suits who send these young men off to fight, young men and women now, off to fight their stupid wars without thinking about the consequences of what these people are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. And that's not even, talking about, PTSD, which my cousin suffered from PTSD, and he killed himself because of it, because he just, the VA helped him a lot, but he just couldn't get past it, And there's real world consequences when people are always talking about going to war and fighting and all that stuff, especially when you have a guy like Trader Trump, who's never done a, again, never had a fist fight in his life. He's never served anywhere. He doesn't know what that's like to watch your buddy die. We get those stories all the time, like a guy that was he was an ammunition guy in a tank, and his tank got hit, and his buddy died, and they were listening to our music, and he was a huge fan, his buddy, and his friend didn't even know our band, but he knew that his friend was a fan, so he came and he gave me his hat and said that he would have wanted you to have this.